I think it's a profession. I would say, how is it any different than marketing?
Welcome back, everybody. John Smybert and Paul Watts. Paul, good day.
Good day, John. How are you, mate?
I wanted to talk on a subject that I know you and I have had a debate on, and I know Tony Hughes debates on, and that is sales a profession?
Yes.
And I know you think it is. Tell me why.
Why do I think it's a profession? I've been studying sales now for about 5 years, and I've been working in sales for more than 20. And you know, it's interesting. It's only in the last 5 years that I've really truly started to appreciate just how broad the topic of selling really is, and how deep it is, and how important it is to an organization. So I genuinely believe that selling is a profession. I think you can be a master of certain aspects of selling, but I actually don't think anybody will ever truly master sales because of its complexity and the breadth of the topic.
I would agree with that. It's something you've got to, here am I nearly 70 and I'm learning probably more now than I did when I was 30. So about sales, and I'm finding I'm accelerating the learning, which is absolutely wonderful. And it's because of this current world we're in and the access to content and information and able to share with people around the world like we are right now. But I'd argue, and I know Tony Hughes argues, that sales is not a profession. It's a function within a profession. So you can be a doctor, a lawyer, an IT specialist, an engineer, or whatever, and you are working with your customers, showing your customers how you can help them achieve the outcomes they've got. So the function is selling within a profession. I think Tony argues something along those lines. The fact is, just about everybody in every role I know has some level of selling involved in it. So selling is a function, not the profession.
I would suggest that that's somewhat, it's semantics. We could say the same. We could say the same about marketing. We could say that, you know, we need to be able to market ourselves, to market our product. Marketing is a skill, but, you know, it's a profession as well. I would suggest that selling is a profession. Is there an opportunity to spend your entire career working within this profession? Absolutely. Is there an opportunity to accelerate and advance within this profession? Absolutely.
As a salesperson, if I continue that argument, as a salesperson, you can actually change companies and change industries, and you stay in the profession of sales, is what you're arguing.
Yes.
So let me accept that for a moment.
Okay.
If sales is a profession, then why isn't it, you know, top of the line in universities, etc., like marketing is, with a sales degree and so on and so forth? What's the issue?
You know, I've been pondering this, and I've been asking that same question on my podcast for the last 3 years. I wish I had the answer to why sales is not, there are so few sales-related degrees. Here in North America, I think there's less than, maybe just over 100 universities now that offer a sales-related degree, where if you were to compare and contrast with marketing, you know, more than 10,000 universities and colleges are offering marketing-related degrees. So, yeah, I get that. I wish I could answer the question. I can't. One of the challenges that I think you face in sales, far more than any other subject that you want to teach, is finding the right people to teach it. Because sales can't be taught by academics. This is an opinion now, but I don't believe that sales can be taught by academics. I think it has to be taught by somebody who has actually sold. And sold in business to business or business to consumer, depending on what type of course it is that they're teaching. But I think the person who's standing at the front of the class has to understand both the art and the science of selling, not just the art or not just the science.
But wouldn't you argue the same for a marketing person? I've seen academic marketing people, and I've seen true marketing people that worked in the real world that get back in and become professors of marketing or whatever. My argument is they create much more value through that degree course than does an academic marketing person. Same in sales, surely.
I think so too. I think that there's a stigma attached to sales that probably does not exist, or is maybe not quite as strong as it is in marketing as it is in sales. So I think that there's definitely a stigma, which, as you know, I'm trying to break down that stigma. That's my mission. I think it's a profession. I think it's a skill, but I also believe that it's a profession. I think that it offers the same potential for advancement that any other profession does. I think it's as well paid, if not in some cases better paid than any other profession. I think it's something that you can constantly be challenging yourself to learn new skills. I don't think anybody truly masters that profession. I think there are some very, very strong practitioners out there. But I genuinely believe that, it's such a broad topic that there isn't anybody who's actually truly mastered sales on all aspects of selling. I think it's a profession. I would say, how is it any different than marketing?
Okay, now I'm accepting your argument for the purpose of this discussion, and it really doesn't matter to me. The important thing is, what does it mean? It means that we as salespeople, and by the way, there's more salespeople around the world than there are marketing people, and more salespeople in a lot of other professions. But what does it really mean? It does mean that we need to learn the art. It does mean that we really need to study it, whether it's at a university or in the real world or whatever way it is. And one of the points I put out to large corporates out there, it's an ongoing learning process, and you need to be able to work out how you help your sales teams continuously develop, continuously grow, and learn how to be much more effective in driving value for your customers. And that's what selling's all about.
I would agree with you. I think the skills that you need to be successful as a sales professional are perishable skills. And I think if you're not practicing them, if you're not constantly reminding yourself of why these things work and the processes and understanding the theory behind what it is that you're doing, I think you very quickly become stale in sales. I think those skills diminish, and you need to be working those sales muscles. So I would agree with you. I think training and ongoing development is very, very important.
I think a lot of aspects of sales doesn't change over time, but a lot has changed quite dramatically too. Particularly the world we're selling into has changed quite dramatically, and that requires continuous learning and continuously keeping up to date, and learning how we can help our customers drive value in their business is very different to how we used to do it 10 years ago. So yes, it is. I agree. It's a continuous learning process. We need to continually focus on it. Hey, let's close that discussion.
Absolutely.
It's no man's land. I really don't care whether we define it as a profession or not, to be perfectly honest. The important thing is we all treat it with respect. We all grow. We make sure the right mindset is developed in our salespeople, and make sure it's focused on the customer. And yes, there is a stigma out there, because there are salespeople that's all out for themselves, and really do a lot of damage to our profession. So I agree with you. We need to really help the profession grow into being much more professional, and that's what I'm all about. How do we elevate the professionalism of sales? So thank you very much for your input on that subject. I look forward to the next time we discuss.
Fantastic. Thank you, John.